Have you ever found yourself standing before a challenge so massive, so intimidating, that it felt completely impossible to overcome? We all have our own Goliaths, don't we? Those towering obstacles in our lives, be it in our careers, our health, our relationships, or even within ourselves. It's easy to feel small and powerless in those moments. But what if I told you there's a timeless story that holds the key to unlocking a strength you never knew you had? Let's journey back thousands of years to a dusty valley where one of the most iconic showdowns in history is about to unfold. We all know the story of David and Goliath, right? The small shepherd boy against the monstrous, battle-hardened giant. But today, I want to invite you to look beyond the surface, beyond the simple tale of an underdog. Because what happened in that valley was far more than just a physical fight. It was a profound spiritual war, and its lessons are more relevant today than ever before. Imagine the scene. The Israelite army is paralyzed by fear. For 40 days, this 9-foot-tall champion, Goliath, has been mocking them, challenging anyone to face him. He's covered in bronze armor, carrying a spear the size of a weaver's beam. He is the very definition of an insurmountable problem. And then, along comes David. Not a soldier, not a warrior, but a young shepherd boy sent to deliver food to his brothers. He hears the taunts, he sees the fear, and something ignites within him. What was it? What made this young man, with no armor and no military training, believe he could succeed where an entire army had failed? It wasn't arrogance, it wasn't foolishness, it was a deep, unshakable faith. David saw something the soldiers didn't. They saw a giant too big to hit. David saw a giant too big to miss. More importantly, he saw the battle not as his own, but as the Lord's. When he declared, "You come to me with a sword and with a spear and with a javelin, but I come to you in the name of the Lord of hosts," he was reframing the entire conflict. This wasn't David versus Goliath. It was God versus an enemy who defied him. David wasn't trusting in his own ability. His confidence was rooted in a power far greater than any earthly giant. He was armed with something invisible yet invincible: his spiritual connection and his absolute trust in God's power. Think about the 5 smooth stones he picked from the stream. Why 5? Some scholars believe he was preparing for Goliath and his 4 giant relatives. But on a deeper level, those stones represented preparation, meeting divine purpose. David didn't just walk out there blindly. He used the skills he had honed for years protecting his flock from lions and bears. He picked the tools he knew, the simple sling and stones, but he infused them with his faith. This teaches us a crucial lesson. God works through the abilities and resources we already possess. We just need to consecrate them to a higher purpose. And then, the moment of truth. With a single, well-aimed shot, the giant falls. It's so swift, so decisive. It's almost anticlimactic. But that's the point. When God is on your side, the victory is already assured. The single stone hitting its mark wasn't just a lucky shot. It was a demonstration of divine precision. It showed that God's power can turn our seemingly insignificant efforts into history-making triumphs. David's victory wasn't just for him. It broke the spell of fear over the entire Israelite army and inspired them to rise up and rout their enemies. This is what happens when we face our Goliaths with faith. Our courage becomes contagious. Our victory can inspire and empower everyone around us. So, let's bring this back to you and me. What is the Goliath standing in your valley today? Is it a mountain of debt? A diagnosis that terrifies you? A broken relationship that seems beyond repair? A dream that feels too big to chase? It's easy to focus on the size of the giant, to listen to its taunts, and to let fear paralyze us just like it did the Israelite army. But David's story calls us to a different response. It calls us to shift our perspective. To see our challenges not through the lens of our own limitations, but through the lens of God's limitless power. To understand that the battle is not just ours to fight alone. When we step out in faith, we are not stepping out by ourselves. We are coming in the name of the Lord. This spiritual triumph teaches us that our greatest weapon isn't our physical strength, our wealth, or our status. It is our faith. It is the conviction that with God, all things are possible. It's about picking up our own 5 smooth stones, our unique talents, our experiences, our small acts of preparation, and trusting God to guide them to their target. The legacy of David and Goliath isn't just a story about a boy who killed a giant. It's a timeless blueprint for confronting and conquering the giants in our own lives. It proves that faith is the ultimate giant slayer. So, the next time you face your Goliath, remember David. Take a deep breath, reframe the battle, and step forward with courage, knowing that you are not alone. Your victory won't just change your life, it might just inspire the world. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey today. If this message resonated with you, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with someone who might need to hear it. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you won't miss our next video. I'd love to hear in the comments below. What is one stone you can use to face your Goliath in your life right now? Stay strong and keep the faith.